What's next for Oklahoma? They got 6 games left in the season. Where do they go from here? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So, Jay, what's next? Because, yes, the Oklahoma offense was not good. We've said it for months that really what it needs to be is good enough. It doesn't need to be great. It wasn't good enough on Saturday. The defense was pretty good. They did their job. They held Texas to 16 points. And again, they got worn down in that second half after Texas owned the ball for 13 minutes. Where do we go from here?
I mean, you kind of expected that at some point that the woes on offense would catch up with you, and this was the game that you hoped it didn't catch up with you on. Yeah. You hoped it was more like Alabama or, someone you actually respect, not Texas. But
right.
Yeah, we unfortunately had it this one. So, but everything's still on the table.
Yeah. And that's the bigger frustration, right? It's not that you lost. It's who you lost to.
It's Texas.
How you lost. And that it's the third time in 4 years that you've lost. Yeah. That's where all the frustration in Sooner Nation comes from. And that's why this is one of the greatest rivalries in sports. Oklahoma's 5-1 with 2 AP top 25 wins. They're a top 15 team in the nation. And everybody's pissed because we lost to our rival.
Of all teams, it's Texas, especially because Texas was reeling. But I think everybody was taking the rat poison on that of Texas is trash. They're bad. No, Texas has been a good program. They've just
tried to warn you on this show last week. I said it all week long, even though I picked Oklahoma.
You were like, no,
they said it all week long.
They're terrible. They lost to Florida. No, Florida was prepared.
Yeah,
and Texas wasn't prepared for them. So. And our mindset was we knew Texas was a good program and it ran very well overall. We knew they're going to run bumps in the road this year because they had a lot of stuff to fit. Now, this doesn't mean the rest of the season is going to go all that great. Teams are going to be prepared for that short game, and they're going to be prepared to continue to get pressure on them, even with the shifts that Texas did on the offensive line to save themselves. But I digress. We don't need to talk about those losers. Can't stand them anymore. We flush it and we move forward. Remember, the next game coming up is South Carolina right now. We'll talk about it in this ad read in a minute, but FanDuel's got us up there as a favorite on the road.
Yeah.
We're favorites. And everybody's going to be like, how are we favorites on the road? Blah, blah, blah. Because this team is still good, y'all.
Yep.
We had a bad game. It's going to happen. It's football. The best thing that probably Danny Cannell's ever said in his life, and I am not a Danny Cannell fan whatsoever, is that you're going to lose two games in this era of college football now.
Yep.
With the way that people are spreading the talent out, and you're seeing it. Teams are going to lose 1 to 2 games on a regular basis. It's gone are possibly the days of a team going undefeated, especially because you're playing so many games.
Yep.
Like, as you add more games, it leads you to more chances to lose because it gets harder. The healthiest team at the end of the season is the one that usually leads off to the championship. That's how Ohio State did it. They lost a whole bunch of players early. They kind of stumbled their way through the year, but at the end, some of the players they needed most came back. They were healthier, and they played and won their chips. Same thing with Michigan. So for us, we can hope that some of these players come back healthy later in the season when we play Bama and moving on forward. So it's really now all about South Carolina, and they're reeling now. I mean, they just fired their offensive line coach. Like, things are not very good out there at William Bryce. They are the struggle bus. So what's next, John? We need to pull up our bootstraps. We need to get these offensive linemen shifting around, and we need to go ahead and figure out a combo of people that's willing to push people around. We may need to just start playing inexperienced people and say, hey, man, go out there and fight somebody, something.
Yeah, I mean, it might be – I said it on the show the other day. I think it might be time to see EPL. I know Gabe Eichert has had an issue with his technique and how he's not technically sound. It may not matter. You might need somebody that's a physical tone center out there, and if that is EPL – then bring it. If Ryan Foje, okay, he's inexperienced and he's not really ready to play, but if he's going to bring you a physical mindset, maybe put him out there. Luke Baklenko, like, dude, if that's a dude that can get a little game. Yeah. And he played a lot because Derek Simmons only played 20 snaps. And if you need to kind of reinvent the wheel a little bit, just so you can get a little bit more physical on the offensive line, then by all means do it. The shame is that it takes this long into the season to do that, but I mean, something's got to change. And I know there's a lot of discussion out there about the offensive line coach, Bill Beatonbow, but man, I still think you got to give it time. You got to give it time. Michael Fasusi's a true freshman. You've got some young guys that you like and need to develop, but they've got to develop and they've got to figure out a way to get this offensive line more physical, to get the run game a little bit better, a little bit more efficient. Because the pass pro is there, yes, but we got to find a way to run the ball. And if you run the ball, it'll help everything.
At this point, John, tip your hat. Just go ahead and play certain players on run plays and play certain players on pass plays and tell them to stop us.
Yep.
Go ahead. Let me get these dudes out here. We're just going to muscle you and just do that. Because we've done that. To me, as the season progressed last year, and you saw the line get better and better, the Alabama game was a great example of we're just going to muscle you. Yep. We're going to beat you up, and we're going to win this game by just being tougher than you. We have the players to do it. We've seen it. The Michigan game was probably a great example at the end where we just toughened ourselves up and won it. Auburn was similar. This Texas game was the first game that we trailed for more than a quarter all season long. Mm-hmm. That's pretty darn good, right? That's actually good. Georgia was struggling with Auburn, and Auburn once again had really bad officiating luck on that side. But it just happens, right? It's just it is what it is. We had bad luck in officiating this game, and me and John talked about before the show. Ain't no reason for us to cry for spilled milk. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to whine about it. Why?
It's not why you lost.
It's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. It's not why you lost. You're going to happen on both sides, regardless.
Yep. Would a 16-6 loss make you feel better? Nope. It would not have.
It would have made me feel better. I'm not going to lie.
It would.
We probably would have gotten the stop though, John, and possibly tried to get at least another field goal. It would have been 9.
Possibly, maybe not.
Right. Hindsight 80-80. So we're going to move away from the 80-80 visions right now. So the focal point here, John, is this: for us, 100%. We probably need to just tip our hats, put dudes out there, and just let them just maul people. Yep. We got people that can maul. The problem is that they are liabilities in anything else we do. And the last thing you need is John to have more liabilities around him when he's making himself an even bigger liability.
Yeah, because if you can be a little bit better in the run game, you're going to help your quarterback. If you're not having to play out of long down and distance situations on a regular basis, okay, let's go. Let's see. It's a team that's still got a lot of talent. I mean, I think the talent at wide receiver is evident. Those guys are getting open. Those guys are creating opportunities. They're making plays. Mm-hmm. In the discussion about going more air raid, I think a lot of that is splitting Jaren Kanak out wide into the slot. Quit playing him in line. Quit relying on him as a blocker in those 11 personnel situations. Go 4 wide and make him one of your wide receivers.
Don't rely on any of the tight ends to block. Yeah. Make them be in the way, not block. Yeah. Just in the way.
Just take them out of the picture. Split them out. Because if you do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I get what you mean, splitting them out. My thing is having them split out, but just have them get in the way of people.
Yeah.
like accidentally trip somebody. I don't care. Follow you on your own. If you follow, make them jump over you. I don't care. Yeah. Just don't make them inline blockers anymore.
Right. Because when you do that, when you reduce the formation and you bring more people into the box, you're bringing another linebacker in. If you've got Jaren Kanak out wide, then you maybe take another guy out of the box, and then you have lighter boxes that you can run against. If they still show you 6-7 man boxes against, a lighter offensive formation, then throw it, then start slinging it. That's how you want to be more deceptive, as opposed to just doing the same thing you do every time, lining up an 11 every time and going from there. No. Use your formation to help your offense a little bit. And I know Ben Arbuckle's smarter than I am at this, so I'm sure he's looking at some of those things, hopefully. And Oklahoma's offense, I think, is going to bounce back and get better. Here are the bright side things that we'll say coming out of this game, because I know you guys have been looking forward us to provide some of the sunshine pumping. We haven't done it yet. We'll provide a little bit here. That Texas defense is legit. They've been legit all season. They just got beat by a Florida offense that found some lightning in a bottle last weekend. Your offense, I think, is going to be better than this. you're not going to play a better defense than Texas the rest of the way, in my opinion. Mm-mm. And you'll have better offenses that you'll face. Alabama, I think, is a better offense. Missouri's got maybe a better run game, but I don't know if it's a better offense. And Ole Miss. And I mean, so you've got still a lot of winnable games on your schedule. This is not a schedule. Yes, it's tough. Yes, it's difficult, but Oklahoma is also one of those difficult teams on the schedule. We'll talk about that as we review where Oklahoma landed in the polls coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.